Welcome to our therapy ball session today. I am going to toggle between the double therapy ball and the single therapy ball. If you have one or the other, feel free to use just that one. Or if you have both, again, feel free to move between one or the other. We are going to start with the feet and then work our way up to the shoulders and the neck. By starting with the feet, we'll start with the double therapy ball if you have it. Now, before we get started, it's always nice just to feel where we're starting from. So locate your feet, place them hip distance right underneath the hips. Soft bend to the knees. As you breathe in, reach the arms up overhead. As you breathe out, nice easy forward fold over the body. Drop the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling where in the body feels tight, feels stuck. Let the head drop down, maybe nodding it slowly side to side. Then bending the knees, round yourself up slowly, shrugging the shoulders up by the ears, and then dropping them down. Let's take one of the balls, right? I am going to start with the double ball. If you have the single ball, go ahead and start there. We'll bring it under our right foot. And we're going to start with the ball right in the center line of the foot, where the toes and the foot meet. And then we're going to drive the ball towards the heel. We'll be using our breath. So as you breathe in, starting with the foot right under the toes, the ball under the toes, and as you breathe out, rolling the ball down the center line of the foot towards the heel. Nice deep breath in and out, stepping in and using your own weight here as a way to find any knots and tight spots in the midline of the foot. 2 more times, breathing in. As you breathe out, leaning into the ball, stepping into it as best you can. And 1 more time, inhale, and let it go. Find a spot that's a little tender right in the middle of the foot. And we're gonna hang out there for 3 big rounds of breath. Breathing in, maybe stepping off of the ball just a little bit. And as you breathe out, leaning into the ball. 2 more, breathing in and out. 1 more time. For these exercises, it's really important not to rush it. If you feel like you want to spend a little extra time here, go for it. There's no need to rush, because the more time you spend on your feet, right, that better opens up the rest of the body. And we will find out how phenomenal it feels after you roll out your feet. So when you're satisfied with rolling out the right foot, we're going to take the ball to the side, both feet back under the hips, soft bend to the knees, another forward fold. Breathe in, stretching up. As you breathe out, bend the knees, diving forward. And then notice as you come into this forward fold that maybe your right hand is a little bit lower than your left, that the whole right side of your body feels like it's a little bit longer, a little lengthened, a little looser. 1 more big breath in, full breath out. Bend the knees, round yourself up, shrug the shoulders up by the ears and drop them down. And we'll switch sides to even ourselves out. So the ball comes underneath the left foot this time, and starting in the midline of the foot, right where the toes and the foot meet, and then driving the ball down the center line of the foot. Nice deep breath in and out as you step into the foot, leaning into the ball, breathing in and out, and again. Let's go for 2 more times. Noticing how this side feels. It could be a little tighter, a little bit easier, whatever you're finding and experiencing. Just moving through those sensations until we find a spot in the middle of the foot that feels tender, feels like it needs some attention, and we'll hang out there for 3 big rounds of breath. Full breath in, followed by a full breath out, leaning into the ball. 2 more times. Last one. Again, take your time to move through the full range of the foot here under the ball, exploring any other places that might feel tender, that might feel tight, that they need to be opened up. Absolutely no rush. And when you are through, when you feel satisfied, you're going to move the ball over to the side. Both feet come right under the hips. As you breathe in, stretching up. As you breathe out, forward fold. Noticing the difference between the first forward fold and this one. Maybe both sides feel a little bit looser, a little longer. Nice deep breath in, followed by a full breath out. Bend the knees, round yourself up, shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, and we will move onward. We're going to take the balls and come to sit either on the ground, or if you have a therapy table, I'm going to use the table so you might see better what I am doing. Coming to a seated position with the legs extended in front of you, bringing the ball underneath your right calf. Hands come behind you, and you can bend the left leg. You're going to have to lift the bum up a little bit so that you can roll up and down the calf. Again, notice if you're holding your breath, if something feels really tight. And there's some add-ons here. So finding a spot that feels a little tender, a little sensitive, we'll hang out there. Staying here, or you can take the left leg, cross the ankle over, and then with the bottom right foot, you're going to flex and point through the foot. And that may make the sensation of the ball a little bit more treacherous, a little more exciting. Let's go for 2 more times. Breathing in, breathing out, and again. Uncrossing the foot, switching sides. You can shake out that leg. And then ball comes underneath the left calf. Again, you can bend the right knee. And you need to scooch the butt up and down a little bit so that you can massage out the entire calf muscle with the therapy ball. Finding a spot that might be a little more tender. Hanging out there, you can stay like this, or you can cross the right ankle over the left leg. And again, flexing and pointing through the bottom left foot. That might make things a little more exciting. 2 more times, breathing in to flex. Exhale to point. And again. Uncrossing the ankle, taking the ball out from the calf. You can shake out the legs, and now we come to the glutes. So there's 2 ways to do the glutes. I'm going to switch now to the single ball, but if you only have the double ball, you can go ahead and use the double ball. Make your way all the way onto your back, bend your knees, pick up your hips, slide the ball right underneath the right glute. And you're going to move the ball around until you find a spot. You got it. That is sensitive. That feels tight. Okay? You're going to hang out there. Relax the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, let the right knee just open out to the right. You can add a little rocking here. So breathing in, lift the knee up. Exhale to let the knee open. Finding a spot that feels moderately manageable, but still where there's sensation of the glute where the ball is. You can stay here, or you can add on by crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, figure 4, and again, leaning both legs over to the right. So the side that has the ball under it, that is the ankle that you cross, and then you're just rocking a little bit further over onto the right hip. Find a spot where it's manageable but sensational. 3 big rounds of breath here. 2 more. Last one. And then coming off of the ball, let's switch sides. Pick up the hips, move the ball from the right glute over to the left glute. Same thing, finding a spot that is meaningful. Once you found it, breathing in as you breathe out, letting the left knee just travel out to the left. So we're lifting the left knee and then opening it out. Take your time, right? You want to get into all of that connective tissue and help loosen up those areas that hold habitual tightness. You can stay with the left knee out, or you can cross the left ankle over the right thigh in a figure 4. Breathing in, as you breathe out, you might want to lean the legs over to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. A few more times at your own pace. Remember, there's no rush here. You want to really find the spot that means the most and then hang out there. 3 big breaths. 2 more. Last one. The more you work with these areas, the easier it does get. Coming off of the ball, lift up the hips, lower down. Now I am going to switch back to my double ball and turn over onto my right side. Now this is going to get into the IT band, fascia lata, and the the glute medius. So you're going to take your ball, either the double or the single, pick up your right hip, and you're going to place the ball right below the hip joint, right? So right below where your hip bone is, into the meatier part of the muscles there. And then moving side to side, so you're on your right forearm, the ball is underneath the right hip, and you're going to hang out in this position. The right leg is long, your left knee is bent. Breathing in, and then leaning that hip into the ball with the breath out. 2 more times. Good, and last one. From here, we're gonna switch sides. So coming up off the ball, taking it over to the other side. So now ball is under the left hip. And you can straighten the bottom leg, bend the top right knee. And then moving the ball, again, right below the hip bone. And finding a spot on the side of the glute that feels a little sensitive. The work is really in leaning in there. So 3 big rounds of breath. 2 more. And final breath here. Wonderful, we're gonna come up, so almost home stretch here. Take your time to come up. We're coming back over onto the back. whichever ball you would like to use. Again, I'm going to transition to the single ball here. Coming onto the back, the ball's going to go right behind your back. So between the shoulder blade and the spine, but not on the spine. I always like to say you want to find the spot that if you were getting a massage or having someone rub your shoulders, it would be like, ooh, that spot right there. That's where we're going to hang out. Once you find it, that right arm is going to circle around, out, and across 3 times. And you'll notice as you move the arm around, it's going to change how you feel and experience the ball under the shoulder. You can switch directions. And then you're going to find the spot, right? So either the arm could be out, it could be overhead, it could be lifted, arm could be across, wherever you feel it most. You're going to hang out here, right? Maybe you bend the elbow wherever you are. Now, option, you can stay here, absolutely fine. If you have a softer ball and you want to add more pressure, you slowly lift the hips up. This is not a requirement, it is just an option. If you're lifting the hips up, make sure your face is looking up to the ceiling so your head is not at an awkward angle. And then you can move the ball and see where kind of you find little knots in places. From here, if the arm is out, you are going to cross the right hand to the left shoulder and then scoop up the right elbow with the left. So opposite hand to opposite shoulder, and then rocking side to side 3 times. Good. When you're through, you can circle that arm again and then take the ball out. Move the shoulder around. See how much more space it feels like it has just gotten. And we'll switch sides. So the ball comes right behind the left shoulder blade. So between the left shoulder blade and the spine. So not on the bone, but in the meaty spaces in between. Move it around until you find an area that is tender, that is tight. And we're going to make big circles here. So the arm comes across the body, around and open up 3 times. And then you can switch the direction. Again, locating where, as the arm makes its rotation, that you feel the sensation the most. The arm could be out, could be up, could be here, could be across, right? You can bend the elbow. Now, if you did it on the first side, or even if you didn't, option is to slowly lift the hips up to add more pressure. You do not have to do this. It is just an option. And make sure again that your face is looking up to the ceiling so that you're not doing anything funky with your neck. From here, make sure the hips are lowered down. If the arm is out, cross it over so left hand comes to the right shoulder. Right arm scoops underneath the left elbow, so opposite hand to opposite shoulder. And then you're rocking side to side 3 times. And then when you are satisfied, when you're through, you're going to take that ball out and put it over to the side. If you have the double ball, this is the last exercise, and this is really, you can only do this with the double ball. So if you only have the single ball, not a problem. You can continue onward with the videos. Otherwise, if you have the double ball, You're gonna bring the double ball right behind your head, so where your skull and your neck meet. So right at the occipital ridge. I like to keep my hands there so the ball doesn't roll out. Tuck the chin towards the chest and just lean the back of the head into the ball. You can move a little side to side. And this tissue here can get really tight, especially if you work on a computer, right? Especially if you spend a lot of time driving and you want to open up that space. Again, finding a spot. 3 big rounds of breath here. 2 more. And last one. Taking the ball out. To come up, you want to slowly make your way over to one side. And then slowly make your way up to a seat. Especially if you get a head rush from being on your back for a while. There is no rush here. Take your time to reassimilate to being upward, and we'll take one last forward fold. Coming up to your feet, nice deep breath in, sweep the arms up. As you breathe out, nice deep forward fold, dropping the head down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to let go. Bend the knees, rounding up through the spine. When you come up, shrug the shoulders, and exhale, let them drop down. Great work. Hopefully you feel a lot longer and are ready for the rest of the day and the rest of your practice. Thanks so much.